I had a question lately on how can I better accept life challenges? And that's a good question. We all have challenges. As Dr. M. Scott Peck in his book, The Road Less Traveled, it was written back in I think the late 70s. He starts out with a three-word sentence. And that sentence is, life is difficult. And that pretty much summed up the whole book, really. It was a very well-written book, very good book, very popular book. It sold a lot of copies in its day. And he went on to be a very famous speaker and writer in his own right. But one of the points he was trying to make in his book is that life is difficult. And, part of a successful way of accepting life challenges is to accept the fact, is to become comfortable with the fact that things happen. And, the challenging things that happen to us never happen according to schedule. They never happen according to what we have written on our calendar. If your transmission goes out in downtown Chicago at rush hour, I guarantee you it won't be something you knew about ahead of time. It won't be something you scheduled. You didn't pencil it in. It happened. And it probably happened at the most inopportune time. And it was very inconvenient. And I'm sure if that ever happens, I hope it never happens to you or me, it'll be very inconvenient. It could be costly, the towing and so on. I mean, but it won't happen on schedule. It'll happen. The tragic loss of a loved one will never happen on schedule. If I find out I have a terminal illness tomorrow or today, it won't be something I expected. That's what life challenges are. And part of being able to deal with them and being able to deal with them as best we can is to realize that they will happen. They do happen. Challenges are always, I guess you could label them bad. And the things that we can schedule that happen according to plan tend to be good, or they go well because we planned for it and did the best we could. But the major things that really throw us for a loop, so to speak, are unplanned. And they're things that we think should not happen to us, that we don't want to have happen. We never expected them to happen. So part of accepting the challenges is to realize that life is difficult, things happen. Things that are unpleasant will tend to be not according to plan. They will not be scheduled. They'll be a surprise to us. And they might be irritating. They might be devastating. We don't know what kinds of things they are. But we'll never get to the point where all of the challenges in life are just, we've got it down so well that everything is smooth all the time, because that's not life. Life is not, and it isn't written anywhere that it's guaranteed that life will always be wonderful and the problems will be easily solved, or you won't have any problems. Never going to happen. So the best we can do is realize, as Dr. Peck reminds us, that life is difficult. Things that are unpleasant and tragic will happen without warning and without plan. That's the normal part of a normal life, is having things, unpredictable things happen to us. And we'll deal with them as they happen. And so we accept those challenges. We accept the fact that things will happen. And it isn't a guarantee that if your transmission goes out in downtown Chicago in rush hour, I guarantee you there isn't any way you can say that it was a fun thing to do and you do it again in a heartbeat. It's not going to happen. I don't think you're ever going to volunteer for that. But it's about knowing that, well, I didn't expect it. I didn't plan for it. It's inconvenient and unpleasant in a variety of different ways for different reasons. But these things happen, and it happened to me this time. And now what can I do about it? Let me accept that challenge. It's a challenge. Let's make the best of it. What do I do? What do I do about it? That's where we want to be. We want to be where we can say, I never would have dreamt this would have happened to me, and particularly now, but what can I do about it at this point? We accept the challenges. We accept them by knowing that they're going to happen. And we almost expect, in a way, we expect that unexpected things are going to happen to us and deal with them. Do they hurt, or are they unpleasant? Or will they be inconvenient? Will they be sad? Yes. But accepting, learning to live with life challenges is all about learning that they will happen to us, and they will happen without warning. And then we do the best we can with them. And I think sometimes the reason people have a problem with life challenges is that somewhere in the back of our minds, we know all that, but we say, no, I don't want any challenges to happen to me. I expect to have smooth sailing. I expect it. And, those things, all those other things happen to other people. I expect them to not happen to me. And because we have that erroneous expectation, we're a setup for failure, a setup for a great deal of unpleasantness, and it might even immobilize us when we do have a challenge that needs to be attended to. But we're so caught off guard and so upset about the fact that it happened, we can't problem solve like we could otherwise. So learn to accept, learn to expect, and do what you can. But realize that life is difficult and unpredictable, unplanned, unscheduled things will happen to all of us. And we just do the best we can when they happen. Have a good day.